So we're going to start with the A major scale today. I heard that you play it really well. So let's just play it together. Make sure that you are using full bows. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we need to learn the arpeggios. On page 30 of your Suzuki book, there are 3 arpeggios, and arpeggios are different than scales. You'll notice with a scale, the notes sound like they're stepping up a staircase. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. With the arpeggios, we're going to be skipping around the notes, kind of like when you are running up a staircase and you want to get to wherever you're going super fast. So instead of going stair by stair by stair, you start to skip over stairs. So that means with our arpeggios, we are going to be skipping over notes and fingers. So with our first arpeggio, I'm just going to play it first and then we'll talk about it. A, C sharp, E, A. That is third finger on E string. E, C sharp, A. So first of all, I mentioned we have a new note in that arpeggio. If you can see my third finger here on the E string, that makes A. It sounds just like your open A string. Okay. Now, an arpeggio is kind of like a chord. So if we think about instruments that play chords, you are going to think of a piano or a guitar. Those are the 2 main ones. A chord is when we play more than one note. So like this, I just played lots of notes, 4 to be exact. Now pianos and guitarists can play several notes at once better than violinists can, so that's why those are chord instruments. But what a violin does is we take a chord and instead of playing all the notes at the same time, we play one at a time. Instead of. So an arpeggio is like a chord that has been broken apart and you play one note at a time. So arpeggio A is an A major chord. A, C sharp, open E, high A, E, C sharp, A. So you'll notice that the notes do repeat in each arpeggio. In arpeggio A, there's 3 basic notes, A, C sharp, and E. A, C sharp, and E. And so those notes will repeat throughout that arpeggio. We can talk about that more next time I see you. Arpeggio B, 1 line down on page 30, is very similar to arpeggio A. It shares the first 2 notes, A and C sharp, but when we get to the third note, that note will be different. It will be F sharp. A, C sharp, F sharp. Let's listen to how that sounds. arpeggio B. And now arpeggio C. That has 3 notes as well that repeat. And the first note is A, so just like all the other arpeggios, the first note is A, and then the second note will be different, D, third finger on A, and the third note is F sharp. So this arpeggio is A, D, F sharp. Ready, go. D, F sharp, high A, F sharp, D, A. All right, so those are the 3 arpeggios that go along with your scale, and you can practice the scale and the 3 arpeggios this week. Play them every day. About 3 times a day is a good number so that your fingers get nice and strong. Now, let's back up. Turn in your Suzuki book to the previous page, and you'll see on page 28 a song called Song of the Wind. Let me play it for you. Ready, go. Now, the first thing you should notice is that our rhythm and our bowing is the second part of taka taka stop stop. My bow is going stop, 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 stop. And that's really, really important because in your music you should see underneath and above the notes dots. And those dots tell us to play stop, 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 stop. Now that stop, stop has a very fancy name in music, and that is staccato. That's an Italian word that tells us to play with a short bow stroke. Stop, 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 stop. So make sure that as you're practicing that you're doing that. You might even start by just practicing stop, 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 stop. Okay? Second thing is, this song uses a technique called a bow retake, or sometimes we call it a circle bow. But I think a more fun way of describing this is to call it an airplane bow. And here's why. If you've ever ridden in an airplane, you know that airplanes have to take off, fly through the air, and then land again. So we're going to make our bow do the same thing that airplanes do. I can show you. So I'm going to play E. At the end of the E, I'm going to take off, fly through the air, land, and then pull another E. Okay? So take off, fly through the air, land. Take off, fly through the air, land. Now it's really important that as you are practicing, that when you land, you don't land roughly. If you land super rough, your bow might bounce like that. And you want to think about it like, if you're in that airplane and the pilot lands, and then the plane lands roughly, it might bounce, and then you're inside and you're bouncing and you feel all scared because airplanes aren't supposed to bounce. So, take off, fly through the air, land. Take off, fly through the air, land. So practice those on E string. 10 good airplane bows every day. Now, if you look at the very first 2 measures of Song of the Wind, this is the third thing that I want to tell you. First thing was staccato, second thing was airplane bow, third thing, first 2 measures of Song of the Wind, you can already play this really, really well. course, you can go and figure out the notes. If you want to do that for a second, you can pause the video, but I will tell you that the first 5 notes of Song of the Wind are in A major scale. You just have to play them staccato. And then measure 2, we repeat the E 4 times. One, two, three, 4. So you can try that. Then measures 3 and 4. This is the last thing I want to tell you about, or maybe second to last. This takes a lot of technique, and I'm just going to try to explain this quickly, and then I want you to take more time to practice it once the video is done. But measure 3 and 4 sounds like this. So it starts with an F sharp. Hold your first finger down. See if you can put your third finger down on the A string. So the important thing here is you're holding the F sharp down. Cross your third finger over. Play D. Still holding your first finger down, hop 3 over to the E string. Back to first finger. And then we're done. Okay, one more time. F sharp, hold down. Keep holding, cross over to D. Hop over to the E string, high A. Back to F sharp. And E. All together, that sounds like. All right. Last thing is for the remainder of the piece, this would be measures 7 to the end. You have a lot of repeated notes. So I want you to make sure that you count how many of each repeated note you're playing, because I kid you not, every person that learns this song plays the wrong number because they don't count. So you be different. You count your repeated notes. I would take a pencil and write over top how many of each note you're playing. For example, measure 7 and 8 has 4 Ds in a row. So over the Ds, just write a number 4. And that way, when you get to it, you don't forget and you play 4 Ds. All right? Happy practicing. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel better, and I'll see you next week. Bye.